Alright, so I've got some decent progress to show on the probe here. I'm waiting on a few new parts before I can kind of finish off the stuff that's going on here in the engine compartment. But the fuel filter goes right in that void down there. So I can't really put a few of these things back in place until I get the fuel filter in, and that's coming tomorrow. So the radiator's in. I've started putting some transmission fluid in the transmission. I'm waiting on a power steering belt, and that's why this hose is still off of it. That's the power steering reservoir, the feed pipe for it. Let's see. I've got to work some magic yet on the exhaust a little bit. So right now I've just got any old O2 sensor I could come across to plug the hole. It's got the wrong fitting on it, or wrong plug on it, so I'm gonna have to do something with that. But in the process of getting this far, I found out that there's a whole other problem. I was trying to get the old fuel out of the gas tank, so I was trying to run the fuel pump. Well, come to find out, the fuel pump is seized up, so I've got the gas tank dropped now, and one of the precious few parts that they actually had in stock for this old car was the fuel pump. So, with any amount of luck, in a few days, I'll get that situated. Well, that's interesting. Note to self, that looks like the same type of plug as my O2 sensor, with the exception of this little plastic doohickey here, which I could cut off. Anyways, I'll look into that later. So I'm going to possibly get into another project later this evening, back into the brake caliper for the Super Duty truck. One of the things I had picked up actually a couple weeks ago now was a live center for the Logan. I picked it up so that I could do some outside turning on this threading dial, which, you know, has been sitting around for, I don't know, a month now or more. Anyways, I have to put get a tang on the back of this thing so that I can eject it from the tailstock. So I picked up some metric bolt. I can't even remember what size it was. 12 millimeter by 1.5 maybe. Anyways, I'm going to have to cut that off, make me a tang so that I can install it. And hopefully I'll bring you guys back later this evening and show you the little trick that I've got in mind to try to work on the Super Duty brake caliper. So, oh, I almost forgot. I've got the axle shafts reinstalled in the car. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to put transmission fluid in it, but it's really coming along. It's making some progress now. It's just a matter of getting parts, and that line there was supposed to be for getting rid of the crummy fuel that was in the gas tank. But at any rate, hopefully in a few days we'll find out if this thing's going to drive or not. I know it'll run. It's just a question of whether or not it'll drive.